No way.
Oh, I put it.
Oh, wow.
All right, everybody, time to reveal our surprise celebrity guest. In case you're just joining us, here are your clues throughout the morning, okay? Born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, chef, restaurateur. So, please welcome, okay, top chef, lead judge, owner of Crafted Hospitality, which has several restaurants in New York City, Long Island, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. Marcia Hippolyte, our viewer, got this one correct. Please welcome Mr. Tom Colicchio.
Hello.
What's up, Tom?
Chef.
How are you?
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good, I'm great. Things are okay.
Things are okay.
Getting by.
Good, you're getting by, and for some reason, Ben doesn't believe in toothpaste.
No.
And he wants to know what foods make your breath smell better after eating garlic.
Yeah.
And why does garlic make your breath smell bad in the first place?
That I don't know, but you can chew on parsley. Parsley tends to take it out, but yeah, I agree. Brush your teeth. That'll probably do it.
Ben?
What is it in the garlic, though? That, I mean, it's such a delicious aspect of the culinary world. What is it about garlic that is so funky?
Tom?
Oh, you're asking me. I think.
Yeah. I was asking the ether.
Are you talking to me?
It's just oils in it. It's very pungent. If you cook it, actually, it becomes a little less pungent. But you know what's exactly in it, I don't know. It's I'll look it up. I guess the Google machine will tell me that.
Parsley.
Yeah. Parsley, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Or lemon.
Parsley, yeah,
Is
parsley
lemon?
will do it. Yeah.
Maybe lime.
Lemon, parsley, yeah. But parsley, usually you can chew on parsley and that will help.
So you say to cook it, so I should stop eating it raw and whole, like an apple.
Raw is the problem. Yeah.
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 Raw garlic. If
you do it in a pesto, then it's raw, and then you know, I make a pact with my boyfriend. If I'm going to eat this pesto, you're going to eat it too, because we're going to both be screaming garlic.
Sweating it out.
That'll do it.
Yes, exactly.
Sweat it out of your pores. Now, real quick, before we move on from the garlic topic, you know, I happen to burn garlic, and I can't figure out why. I put it in, and like, is it the pan's too hot?
Oil's too hot.
You know,
Absolutely. Pan's too hot.
And so once it's burned, it's ruined,
way
right?
too hot.
Throw out the whole thing?
Yeah, it gets really bitter and pretty nasty. So I would lower the flame and put it in whatever you're cooking. Put the garlic in more towards the end.
Got it.
So if you're cooking onions and garlic together,
Yeah.
sweat the onions first, and then towards the end put the garlic.
Okay, so that's
Oh,
good
good
because
idea.
I was putting the garlic in. I'm making a tomato sauce, right? And I put the garlic in first. They're saying at the end.
You're using onion too?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Sweat the onions
the
first,
onion.
and then put the
Chef,
onions
I've
first,
been
then
telling
put the
him
garlic
this
in.
for years, but you
But
tell
keep
him.
the flame low.
Maybe he'll listen this time.
I'll listen to Tom. Yeah, I will listen to you. I'll listen to Tom. For
I
sure.
learned from Tom by watching him in Top Chef
There you go.
and everywhere else.
Hey, Tom, what have you learned during this pandemic quarantine? Have you created some new dishes, discovered something new?
I've discovered I'm getting tired of my cooking. I'm desperate to get out to restaurants, and I finally have my second vaccination, so
Oh, good.
I feel
Congrats.
a little safer going out. But yeah, I'm missing. So I moved out of Brooklyn for the time being, and we're out in North Fork, Long Island, and we don't have Thai restaurants out here or a decent Chinese restaurant, and so I'm just desperate for something other than my own food right
Oh
now.
my gosh,
I mean,
right?
I dabble. The other night I made an Indian dish. It was okay. I mess around with Thai and it's okay, but I'm looking for something a little more authentic than what I'm doing.
Can you
at least
imagine
you
how
can-
good okay is
I
in
know,
Tom
right?
Colicchio's
I
kitchen
I mean,
versus
at least you can
our
cook.
okay?
We can't cook.
Yeah.
Well, Monty still can.
Well, you can. You just have to practice.
What are your thoughts then? You mentioned, the restaurant industry. What are your thoughts on restaurants kind of bouncing back from COVID-19?
Well, there's no bouncing back. I mean, luckily, the Restaurant Act. I'm a co-founder of the Independent Restaurant Coalition, and we lobbied hard over the last year to have the Restaurant Act not only written into law, but then getting it included in the stimulus package. That's a $28.6 billion package that restaurants are receiving, and all goes to independent restaurants, so not the chains. So that's really going to help. It's going to help us actually get through this opening period, because even now in New York at 50%, we still can't make money at 50%. And so we have a ways to go. Also, I'm just not seeing the volume right now, even at 50% on we're closed Monday, Tuesday for now. Wednesday, Thursday, not so busy. Weekends, pretty good. So we're just not seeing the, people just don't feel safe yet. It's going to take a while. And I suspect, once we get through the summer and into the fall, providing that we don't see another resurgence, that come fall, we'll be in pretty good shape. But it's going to take a while.
OG and Marisol?
I was just going to ask, well, thank you for that, your encouraging words and your insight as to how we sort of find a new in the restaurant industry. But I wanted to ask you, because I am a loyal disciple of Top Chef, Do you diet after you finish shooting? Because you're tasting a lot of really delicious food.
Well, we're not eating too much. You know, the bigger problem is that we tend to go out afterwards too. So no, what I did this year, so we did shoot this year. We shot in Portland, and we shot September into October. We were in a bubble, and no one got sick. We have 150 people on the casting crew, and we all managed to get through it. But what I was doing, I was living in an Airbnb, just me and my puppy that I brought with me.
Aww.
And on cue, she barked. I was kind of fasting, like every third day. And that kind of worked, but no, I mean, I've actually, my workout regimen's out the window. I used to box 3 days a week and do yoga, 3 or 4 days a week. And I haven't done a thing since COVID started. I've been pretty lazy. No, it just, there are times that we eat a ton on the set when we're shooting, and there are times it's not so bad. The older I get, the harder it is to keep it off. So
you mentioned that, right. You mentioned the new season taking place in Portland, Oregon, but you, sir, besides being the judge there, you're also kind of impacting and helping the next generation of chefs, right? These high school chefs right now, being part of something called the Colavita Challenge.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Yes. So that's at the Food and Finance High. In New York City, there is a high school called the Food and Finance High that actually has a great culinary program. And every year, there's the Colavita Challenge. It's sponsored by Colavita Olive Oil. And I'm one of the judges, and I come in and judge the kids. And I have to say, these are high school kids, and they are, they do a pretty good job. I mean, some of the food's really good. And the real cool thing is, if they win, they get a trip to Italy.
Wow.
So, yeah, and so it's really neat because there's one thing, spending time in culinary school, but once you actually go, either Italy or France, and you actually, taste authentic food. And I always said when I started going to France, when I was started working there when I was about 24, 25, you learn the reason why. So you learn how to cook, but all of a sudden you learn the reason why certain things go together, usually because they're grown together in the same region at the same time, and everything starts to make sense. And so these kids, they win a great trip to Italy, and so I've been involved for 3 years now. Last year, unfortunately, the winner, because of COVID, couldn't go, but we're monitoring the situation closely and seeing what happens this year for this year's winner. And obviously, we'll work with their families to see if it's safe. If they feel it's safe, maybe we can get back to that trip again.
Now, are you brutal when you're judging with them, or are you kind?
No. On the show, I'm just being honest. And these are professionals. No, these are kids, and I'm just there to encourage and try to mentor them and give them some just real encouragement. And again, quite frankly, it's all been pretty good. But it's just neat to see these kids who who can find their way. Some of these kids, if they had never been introduced to this, they probably wouldn't realize that there's this idea that you could be a chef or you can get into the culinary arts. And this is a school. It's inner city, and the kids are they all have great attitudes. After the first year I judged, there was a young woman. She was probably a freshman at the time. And I ran into her a couple of days later in the subway. And she was sitting next to me. She said, "Chef Colicchio?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "We met." And I said, "Of course, I remembered." And we started talking. And every year I've seen her progress. And she's just been great. But she's got so much confidence. And that's what you need, these kids, to find something they love to do and create that confidence. And then the sky's the limit from there.
Especially in that business, because it can be very hard, right? There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of restaurants that make it or maybe don't make it. So give us some encouragement today, as we're sick of our own food. Is there something of yours that we can make that is fairly easy but will taste just as good?
Well, I've been doing a whole series of videos on my Instagram, and it's a combination. I actually show you how to do something, and then you can choose to purchase it, and we ship it across, all around the country. Or you can actually just kind of learn what I'm doing. So simple things like I'm really I like to focus on techniques, and so the idea of how to roast properly, using a thermometer versus time, real important.
I need that.
And just to learn how to, teach people how to actually control heat, which just seems to be the problem with the burning garlic, is that you're not controlling heat, you're letting it control you.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is when you turn up your flame and you start to cook, once you start adding stuff to the pan, it lowers the temperature.
Right.
But then the temperature will come back up.
Yeah.
If you don't adjust back down, it just continues to go up and you start burning stuff. And so just teaching little tips, tips like that. I mean, for me, when I was a young cook trying to figure out my way through recipes, I always struggled with it. I probably would have been diagnosed with ADHD, and I found a book that my dad had that he brought from his work library. My dad worked in the county jail, so I have no idea what Jacques Picard's technique was doing in this library. But it really stressed techniques and methods as opposed to recipes, and it really just changed the way I was able to cook.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
Right? Because we all look at that recipe, but you're right. The technique is more than half the battle.
Yeah.
You mentioned the progress, with the high school students. It's almost like our own Ben. Ben cooks every Wednesday. He makes a little bit of progress every single week.
Don't give
Every
me that
week
much
we hear
credit,
progress.
Dan.
Real quick,
But that's the secret to learning how to cook. People ask all the time, what can I do? Is there a book I can buy? Do I need knives? No,
Practice.
cook.
You ever made a
If you want to
tornado
get better,
omelet?
practice.
We got to go. You're from New Jersey. I got to ask you, Taylor ham or pork roll?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Taylor ham.
Thank you, sir. Tom,
Oh,
that's
my
why we
goodness.
love you, Tom Colicchio.
You know why they had to change that? No, hold on a second. No, the reason they changed that, it was Taylor ham, but then I guess the USDA said if it's not ham, it can't be called ham. The ham lobby stepped in and actually made them change it.
Darn ham lobby.
There are a
All
lot
A
of
little
love.
history
Big
lesson
correction.
today.
Tom Colicchio, thank you for being
Thanks,
here.
Chef.
Looking
Great
forward
to
to
see
see
you.
the progress of those high school students in the Colavita Challenge. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. There you go. Hopefully parsley, Ben.
Yeah, lots of parsley.
Yeah.
You see, my
I'm
whole
with
fridge
you,
is me parsley.
Ben, though.